You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news tonight, polling stations revealed for the upcoming by-election. Also, a heated exchange in the House of Assembly as the Minister for Grand Bahama highlight a number of issues Dorian victims experienced under the FNM administration. And 5-person stabbed at Lobster Fest. Tonight, the organizer speaks out. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping the news tonight, in 3 weeks, registered voters in the West, Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency will head to the polls to vote their candidate of choice in the upcoming by-election. For residents eligible to vote, here's a look at where you will cast your ballots. Polling Division 1 and 2 in West End Primary School and West End. Polling Division 3, The Bight and Edmonds Reef, West End Primary. Polling Division 4A, Holmes Rock North, AL, Holmes Rock Primary School. Polling Division 4B, Holmes Rock, MZ, Holmes Rock Primary School. Polling Division 5, Holmes Rock South, Holmes Rock Primary School. Polling Divisions 8 and 9 and 10 through 11 are in Bimini. Polling Division 6, Sea Grape, Martintown Primary. Polling Division 7, Jonestown, Martintown Primary School. Polling Division 12, Russell and Martintown, 8 Mile Rock High School. Polling Division 13, Pinedale, 8 Mile Rock High School. And Polling Division 14, Hannah Hill at the 8 Mile Rock High School. So far, 5 candidates are expected to nominate this coming Monday. Standard bearer for the PLP, Kingsley Smith. Free National Movement's candidate, Bishop Ricardo Grant. Coalition of Independence leader Lincoln Bain, and Independents Daquan Swain and Tennille Burrows. The by-election date is set for November 22nd. Well, meantime, the major political parties gearing up to host a week of rallies. The Progressive Liberal Party's next rally is set for this Friday, November 3rd in Jonestown, 8 Mile Rock at 7 p.m. with special appearances by Veronica Bishop, Platinum Knights Junkanoo Group, and Count Juice. The Free National Movement will take its political machinery to Bimini for the opening of its headquarters and rally in the alley in Baileytown on Wednesday at 6 p.m. And the Coalition of Independence is set to host its Let's Ride motorcade starting at 5 p.m. at the Harbor West Plaza and ending at the Coalition of Independence headquarters in Jonestown. Well, tonight, independent candidate Daquan Swain says he's been on the ground for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini seat for some time now. He spoke with our Jay Philippe on his response from residents thus far.
With the by-election expected to take place in a matter of weeks, the major focus has been on 2 of the major parties. However, independent candidate Daquan Swain believes that he has what it takes to be the next representative for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini seat.
Plan is for us to continuously, every single day, let the residents in the different areas and the different subdivisions and the polling divisions, let them see our face, let them see our team members, let them interact with our team members and just hear if our plans align with what they want for the community.
In the 2021 general election, Daquan Swain received 76 total votes, but this time around, he's more confident in the residents of West Grand Bahama and Bimini.
When an independent candidate goes in there, it doesn't matter what the PLP say, it doesn't matter what the FNM say, because guess what? The only thing that matters is what the residents say, and there's no limit on what we can say or what we can carry to the house. So I'm quite confident in our plans, and you know, we're not looking to the left, we're not looking to the right. All we're doing is presenting the plans, showing people that we've been consistently there in the community, continuing to do the work in the community, and showing them that if we work together with this, we can definitely pull this off, and the feedback has been incredible.
One of Swain's campaign managers, Cecil Lowe, says the focus now is going to be on young voters and the possibility of a constituency debate.
Our plans are to this time get into the community. Well, we got into the community last time, but the plan is this time to involve the youth more. You understand? To let them see that their voice is being heard this go around. Every time we have an election, there's always a motorcade, there's always a rally, there's always some beer and grill out and food and drinks giveaway. Let's change it up. Let the people of Western and Bimini have a debate. Let the candidates come together. I believe there are 4 candidates. Come together and debate. Show me, put on the table what you can do in the House of Assembly. Show me why I should give you my vote.
The independent candidate says he plans on visiting Bimini in the upcoming days before ramping up his campaign trail. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jay Philippe.
Switching gears now, the Minister for Grand Bahama did not mince words as she launched a scathing critique of the former administration's handling of Hurricane Dorian during a recent session in the House of Assembly. The Grand Bahama Minister brought to the forefront a myriad of issues that Hurricane Dorian victims had to contend with under the Free National Movement government.
Withdraw your part or prove it.
The goods spoiled at the Freeport Harbor in trailers. Spoiled goods. Even after we came to power, these goods, some things were even auctioned that were held there when people could have used them.
In a heated assembly address, the Grand Bahama Minister, Honorable Ginger Moxie, highlighted a multitude of issues that Dorian victims encountered under the Free National Movement.
Spoiled products that were meant to be distributed to the people in need, hoarding of supplies that should have been distributed, selling of generators instead of giving it away to those in need, becoming a hindrance to NGOs who simply wanted to come to the rescue of those in need. And they had a ministry for disaster that became a disaster with a piecemeal, ineffective approach to managing home repairs.
The minister asserts that significant progress has been achieved in Grand Bahama since Hurricane Dorian under the leadership of the Davis administration, assuring the residents of Grand Bahama that there are many more promising initiatives in the pipeline, offering a hopeful outlook for the future.
Create the Center for Sustainability on Grand Bahama Island while establishing the Bahamas as the center of innovation for the Caribbean.
Additionally, she confirmed the name for the upcoming administrative complex in 8 Mile Rock and outlined the forthcoming work that will be undertaken in the Western District.
The Obadiah H. Wilscombe Complex in honor of the late Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini. Opened the junior high school in Holmes Rock. Construct a new police station in West End. Redevelop the Fishing Hole Cultural Village for resiliency as a part of the Cities Forward initiative. Redevelop Sunset.
In other news, the Honorable Miles LaRota, Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister, shedding light on the challenges faced by the government as a result of decisions made by the previous administration regarding disaster relief on the islands of Abaco and Grand Bahama. These decisions, he asserts, have incurred significant costs for taxpayers amounting to millions.
We have been saddled with some of the decisions that was made.
The Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister, the Honorable Miles LaRota, has delivered a strong response to recent comments made by the opposition leader concerning NEMA and the Disaster Reconstruction Authority. LaRota criticized the former administration for their comments on the assistance provided by the PLP to residents of Abaco and Grand Bahama after taking office, asserting that the government has been obliged to spend hundreds of thousands on contractual agreements made by the previous administration.
We came into office where there were 2 sites in Abaco, 1 site in Grand Bahama that were being managed, and we're talking about 1 site at Elbow Key, of which an agreement was made for debris to be stored on private land that have cost the Bahamian people some $3 million.
In an additional revelation, Minister Miles LaRota has disclosed that no provisions were made for storing debris at the waste management site in Spring City, Abaco. This oversight has resulted in the contamination of the water table.
4 years after Dorian, we have now started to demobilize the site, and for those out there who don't know, the prices were running on 1 site around $350,000 per month. The other side around $200,000 per month. It will cost us millions of dollars, Mr. Deputy, to demobilize both of those sites.
He says a significant amount of time and resources have been channeled into rectifying the mistakes made by the previous administration.
It wasn't as if we are just sitting around twiddling our thumbs and not having to pay out large sums of monies for works that have to be done. The site, that's in Spring City, the site in Treasure Key. For those to be to the point pre-Dorian will cause the Bahamian taxpayer, fair to say, north of $10 million. That is our reality, and we just cannot leave them there.
Well, the Minister of Immigration and National Insurance, the Honorable Alfred Sayers, touring his ministries on Grand Bahama on Friday. It presented Minister Sayers with an opportunity to meet with employees and get a better understanding of their needs and concerns. Shane Stubbs reports.
Acting in his new role as Minister of National Insurance and Immigration, the Honorable Alfred Sayers and his team recently visited Grand Bahama and spent time listening to concerns and recommendations from both government agencies. As he met with NIB agents, he noted that his goal is to boost their morale, and it all starts with improving how offices are managed.
The same way as we're doing in the economic activity is the same way we have to innovate in the management, so that the management is rooted on the ground. Certainly, we want the morale, the ownership, that you know, you want to maximize the performance and the productivity here.
His visit also included a tour of a proposed detainee site located on Peel Street. Facing several challenges of their own, officer in charge for Grand Bahama, Bimini, and the Keys, Greta Knowles, was happy the minister came to hear their concerns.
We are challenged with a lot of persons coming in, detainees, and so we are here to look at the facilities down here at Peel Street moving forward in order that we can get accommodations for them.
And while highlighting the role Bahamas immigration plays, he deemed it important to get feedback from officers with some amendments pending.
This ministry, immigration, which produces to the public treasury this year almost $100 million. We will substantially increase that, but there are concerns. We will be amending the Immigration Act. We also will be amending the Bahamas Nationality Act so that we could have a more nimble, a much more effective immigration infrastructure going forward.
The Honorable Minister encouraged officers and agents to be in continuous dialogue with him to ensure their concerns are heard and met.
You need to give me what I need so that I could be the best minister possible for this time.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shane Stubbs.
Well, in other news, Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper announcing the much-anticipated completion of a new airport on Grand Bahama. Since the devastation caused by Hurricane Dorian in 2019, Grand Bahama has been without a proper airport, and now DPM Cooper confirming that the island will be seeing a new airport very soon.
This will help us to build even more critical mass for the airport that we have announced. This airport will play a pivotal role in further growing Grand Bahama's economy by providing enhanced accessibility to our island. It will facilitate the inflow of tourists, business travelers, and investors. And never mind the noise in the market, we are going to break ground very soon, and we are going to finish, more importantly, in 2025 as we have committed to doing.
The DPM says, enthusiastically speaking on the bright future that lies ahead for Grand Bahama, he emphasizes the government's commitment to partnership to ensure the great success of the island.
We're determined to sustain the momentum of investor confidence in Grand Bahama. We have a vision for this island as a hub of economic growth, innovation, and prosperity. And as we move forward, our government encourages all investors, both local and international, to explore the opportunities that Grand Bahama presents.
Well, in this report, the proprietor of the popular two-day Lobster Fest event that witnessed a stabbing incident resulting in several hospitalizations is speaking out against the violence while asserting that the unfortunate incident had no connection with the actual event. Raven Davis reports.
What was supposed to be the exciting finale of a family fun day packed with laughter, entertainment, and just about all things lobster took a distressing turn after police on Grand Bahama confirmed that 1 female and 4 males were stabbed at the popular Lobster Fest event on Sunday night.
I originally started Lobster Fest in the year of 2014. And for the full 7 years we've been having Lobster Fest, we have never had an incident like that.
Lenice Williams says she has come forward to make it clear that what transpired had no connection to her event.
Williamstown is a family-oriented community, you know, and those were outsiders that came and did what they did.
A trail of blood left behind in the aftermath of this incident in the area Williams recently cleared to expand the event.
Well, that fight really affected my business big time because I spent months planning this event. It was a whole lot. And for them to come for that few minutes and fight, it cost a whole lot. I lost.
And regrettably, she says once the fight broke out, there was nothing they could have done to retain the numbers. And while security was stationed on the property, in hindsight, she says there's one thing she would do differently.
Moving forward, I would up my game more with more security officers and police officers just to control the crowd, you know, because, I mean, the event will always go on. I birthed that event. It will go on.
Now, according to police, the victims were between the ages 19 to 37 and were taken to hospital for medical attention. At last report, a 20-year-old remains hospitalized in critical condition. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
Thanks, Raven. Now, while giving an update on that incident, Police Press Liaison Officer Stephen Roll says 7 persons are in custody. 2 of whom are juveniles and are assisting police with investigations. They are expected to be charged before the court sometime this week or early next week. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news when we come back.
For it, you've got it. A new plant nursery fully loaded with everything you need and extended hours. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
The Grand Bahama Port Authority presents 50th Anniversary Golden Tribute, The Unveiling. Friday, November 3rd, Churchill Square, downtown, beginning at 7:30 p.m. Witness history in the making.
Are you ready? I'm ready.
I am ready.
I am ready. I am ready.
Ready or not, it's here. That's right, the biggest gospel show with me, Uncle Fee Baby Boy, on 8:10 a.m. That's right, interviews, greatest songs, praise and worship. It's going to be exciting. We're going to take the Bahamas to the world and bring the world to the Bahamas.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. As we continue our series on Public Service Week, tonight we give you an inside look at the role of emergency management services at the Rand Memorial Hospital. Our Shane Stubb trades in the mic for the sirens in this edition, in a day and a life of the EMS.
It's a 24/7 ministry that requires leaping to action at a moment's notice. Life as an EMS professional may not be for the faint at heart, but these public service agents do their very best at carrying out their calling. Today, we take a behind-the-scenes look at life beyond the sirens.
informed me at least 57 said to be seeking uncontrollably. And also loss of appetite at 3 days.
The Public Hospital Authority's Emergency Medical Service Unit works around the clock, ensuring they deliver timely and efficient medical assistance.
First of all, when we come to work here, we want to check your unit. We sanitize, we clean the unit before beginning and at the end of the shift. Once a call comes in, our dispatchers at the police control room, they receive the call, and once they receive the call, they will then in turn radio us over the radio. Once they radio us, we respond, get the information, jump in the unit, and we leave to go to the scene.
Some emergencies can take a mental toll on EMS workers, but as manager, Derek Johnson's role is simple, ensuring his team is fully prepared to carry out their daily duties.
EMS is Bahama, you go out from the scoop and run back in the day. We have people who are highly trained and licensed professionals. You know, we have this pet peeve amongst ourselves that, you know, they call us ambulance drivers. No, we're not ambulance drivers. We're emergency medical technicians.
Tasked with carrying the heavy lifting in emergencies, Thompson says there's a role the public plays in helping EMTs save lives faster.
Today we have this phone, people just want to record. They don't want to record that. Call 911. They stand up there recording and they ain't call 911 yet. They saying where the ambulance is. You ain't call us yet. If you ain't call us, how we know to come? We move on when you call.
Aiming to reach scenes as fast as possible, Thompson is grateful to the public for their role in helping them save lives. But he reminds the public on the safest and effective way to assist.
If you are able to move them safely, to vehicle on fire, of course, try to get them out as safely as possible, but try not to do too much movement of them. Try to protect their neck and, you know, get them out there as best as possible. But you don't want to, you know, just yank them out of the car and you know, let the professionals come and do it.
Brave, reactive, fearless, and of course, sincere. These are just some of the traits that make these public service agents one of a kind in their field and ready to serve you once they get the call. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shane Stubbs.
Thanks, Shane. Tomorrow we highlight the role of the enforcement unit at the Immigration Department. And finally in news tonight, on this last day of October and the annual observance of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we bring to you the story of a woman who turned 73 last week and shares her journey through breast cancer. Lucida Johnson was diagnosed in 2016, and in this final installment of our breast cancer series with Aja Kwan, she shares how it was her faith that brought her through 7 years later.
My name is Lucida Johnson, and I'm 7-year-old cancer survivor this month.
73-year-old Lucida Johnson looking back at her 7-year journey from the life-changing diagnosis to now being able to talk about it. Each year, as her birthday approaches on October 19th, she chooses to celebrate by sharing her remarkable story. It was in 2016 when Lucida first felt a lump in her breast, prompting her to see a local doctor just 2 days later.
The doctor told me that they would have to put me in the hospital and take the lump out, and they did just that.
Immediately after a biopsy was performed,
he said to me, I do not like to give my patients bad news, but he told me that it was cancer. I looked directly in the doctor's eyes and I said to him that it's not in my hands, in God's hands.
Lucida was determined to explore her options by traveling to Fort Lauderdale, where the doctor told her the exact diagnosis. She traveled back to New Providence to have the breast surgically removed, and just 4 weeks later,
when they read it, they say, well, I have no cancer, no way in my body, thank God.
However, her journey wasn't quite over yet, undergoing 4 rounds of chemotherapy and radiation treatment.
They lay me down, and only me and God in the room. The technician, they would fix me, and when they finished, they would leave the room, and they just look through the hole. And God, I said, God, you were with me, and you would never leave me. You will never leave me.
Through it all, Lucida credits her faith as her guiding light.
I never was sick. I never complained. And people in Grand Bahama who knows me very well, I did never lay down and play dead, because I know God is my healer.
She has also found a way to give back by assisting other women in their own battles against breast cancer.
I'm helping people through the walk of cancer, and I want you to know, cancer is not a death sentence. It's a death sentence if you want it to be a death sentence. All you have to do is trust God and believe. It's nothing too hard for my God to do.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Azra Quant.
What a great story of faith. Well, here's a look at what's happening in sports with our Shane Stubbs.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Shane Stubbs, and welcome to sports. The IL Care Senior Boys Tip-Off Basketball Classic kicks off tomorrow, November 1st through the 7th, and the executive team is hyped up for the action. Let's take a look.
Teams will be placed in two pools. Pool A, Sunland Baptist, the defending champions, Tabernacle Baptist, St. George's High, Jack Hayward Jr. Senior High. Pool B, Abe Mark High, Bishop Michael Eldon School, Mary Star of the Sea, and Study Hall Academy.
We are elated to be a part of this tournament. We've been doing it for a few years now. We will continue to support them in this event and events like this.
They'll also honor retired referee Alan Newman, and the Royal Bahamas Police Force say their presence will be felt.
I started when Bunny Lavardi was alive. Those years was some of the best years in basketball in Grand Bahama. I could never forget those years.
Any offenders that are found to be in breach of the law during the times of the event, we want them to understand and know that we will prosecute them and put them before the court.
Keeping with basketball, we've got winners from the Agape Christian School's annual Tip-Off Classic. Taking the junior boys' crown was the St. John's College Giants, taking down Agape Christian Eagles 50-48. Leonardo Roll finished with 17 points and was named the MVP. And on the senior boys' side, the C.I. Gibson Rattlers knocked off the C.C. Sweeting Cobras 63-47. Deshaun Butler poured in 31 points and was named the MVP. And lastly in sports, GV Volleyball Association action continuing this coming Thursday at the YMCA. In women's action, Fair Play will take on Nesbitt's Rentals Angels, and on the men's side, AID are set to take on the Defenders.
And ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for sports this evening. I'm Shane Stubbs, and as always, be safe and be great.
Hi, I'm Wes. I like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I would like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Let us put shoes on your feet.
John West Shoes is now open. Carmichael West, Nassau, behind Wendy's.
Doctors Hospital is reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations in Freeport and 8 Mile Rock, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
Have you ever wondered how electricity gets to your home? Let's start at the beginning. Our teams at our energy plant work around the clock to generate power to be delivered to your home or business. When it leaves the generating facility, electricity first travels to a switch yard that increases the voltage to allow it to travel long distances throughout the island. A network of high-voltage transmission lines is the backbone of the electric grid and is used to carry large amounts of electricity across long distances. After completing the first leg of this journey, electricity arrives at the neighborhood substation. The substation's job is to lower the voltage before power can be sent over shorter distances closer to homes and businesses. Once lowered, the electricity is now ready for the final leg of its voyage. When it leaves the substation, it travels along the distribution poles and wires, the ones you see every day around your community. Just outside your home or business, the electricity voltage is further reduced by a pole mount transformer to a level that customers use in their homes or businesses. And now that the electricity has finally reached its destination, it travels through a meter, flows to a service panel, and then to the outlets inside your home. To learn more about how our business operates, visit our website or follow us on Facebook.
Your your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Tonight's Facebook friend is Shiloh Roll, turning a whopping 9 years old on today. Shiloh, we wish you a special happy birthday and make sure continue to drive this shit crazy. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire ZNS News team, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, Shantytown demolition to begin. Reimagining Tourism 2030. A tongue lashing for the EU and OECD. And in sports, Old Timers softball playoffs. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lopinder, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. They've been granted somewhat of a reprieve as the near month-long notice Shantytown residents were given to clear out has finally run out. But even that additional time will not be long, as the Minister of Work says demolition is imminent. Cleopatra Murphy has more.
The demolition of 162 illegal structures in the Cool Acres and All Saints Way shantytowns are set to begin on Monday.
Let this action be a clear and unequivocal message that the government of the Bahamas has a zero-tolerance policy towards illegal and unregulated structures. Such establishments not only pose significant risks to their inhabitants, but also compromise the safety and orderly development of our nation.
This, the end result of the Unregulated Communities Action Task Force serving eviction notices on October 2nd on homes in two of what Sweeting says are more than 10 shantytowns on New Providence alone. Ahead of those demolitions, he says increased security will be put in place from the Royal Bahamas Police and Defense Forces, while representatives from the Ministry of Works will ensure residents have vacated the premises and post no trespass notices.
The focus will also be on assisting individuals remaining in these areas up to the last possible moment before demolition. On the day of demolition, strict access control will be enforced to ensure the safety of the process. After demolition, we will engage in a thorough assessment to ensure the sites remain secure against re-establishment of unregulated structures.
Mindful that more than just illegal migrants occupy unregulated structures, Sweeting says the Ministry of Social Services will also provide temporary housing for Bahamians who need it. But up to Tuesday, those numbers had not been finalized. After several starts and stalls following a 2018 Supreme Court injunction that barred government from tearing down what officials acknowledge has been a growing shantytown problem, the minister says government is finally doing what it is mandated to do and what Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis promised. With the unregulated communities now being tackled on New Providence, next up, the Family Islands.
We're dealing with two communities now. I don't have a date, but we will continue. You know, the reality is that the law isn't just for New Providence. The law is for the whole country. So we'll strategically deal with other islands. We understand that Abaco has a real challenge. So all islands are on the map.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
We shift our attention now to news from the police, who last night scrambled to a popular shopping plaza following reports of yet another shooting that's left a family mourning and an intense hunt for the perpetrators. With the details, we turn now to our Desmond Saunders.
It's time now for the bloodshed to stop.
Passionate plea from Police Press Liaison Officer Chief Superintendent of Police Chrisling Skippings, alarmed over the bloodshed on our streets. Monday night shooting, another ruthless homicide involving a young male on bail for attempted murder.
Let me just say how disgusted I am tonight with this particular incident occurring here yet within a shopping plaza where members of the public traverse on a daily basis. This is unacceptable, and this will not be tolerated.
Detectives say the male was exiting a fitness center in the Harbor Bay Shopping Plaza when a light-colored Japanese vehicle pulled up. The occupants opened fire on the victim, shooting him multiple times about the body.
Earlier this year, the victim was also shot. He was in our custody. Detectives spoke with him, but he failed to provide the intelligence needed to resolve whatever conflict there was between him and the alleged perpetrators. The young man tonight is known to police, and he was on bail for an attempted murder. We are investigating as indicated, and I welcome the support of the Bahamian people in this fight against crime. You may see something, you may hear something. You may have seen a vehicle leaving this area at high speed. You may have seen a light-colored vehicle being ditched in a particular area, and you may have seen persons exiting that vehicle. Provide us with the intelligence.
Now, Police Press Liaison Officer Chief Superintendent Chrislyn Skippings making a strong appeal to parents in the crime fight.
It's the same weapons that your sons use to injure other people. These weapons will be turned on you if you fail to come forward and provide the police with the intelligence. We are here to prevent these incidents from occurring. You know who your children have conflicts with. You hear them in the house talking. You hear them in your backyards talking. You are just as guilty as the perpetrators.
A renewed call for greater partnership in the crime fight and stiffer penalties for offenders. Businesses being asked to beef up their security systems with CCTV cameras and lighting to deter criminals. Police now relying on footage from CCTV cameras attached to the crime scene to solve this latest incident. Desmond Saunders, The Bahamas Tonight.
Well, following last night's homicide, Acting Commissioner of Police Lehman Delaveau is reiterating an appeal for young men to resolve conflicts amicably. His comments come in the face of a murder count that so far has exceeded 80, and the victim another on bail for murder. It's a troubling trend police continue to lament.
The courts have their function, the police have their function. We arrest, we investigate, arrest, put before the courts. We object to bail in most, if not all, cases. The courts have their role, and I'm not prepared to deal or interfere with the role of the courts. We have our concerns, but what we do see is we see every single, almost on a daily basis, once a person is placed on bail for a serious offense, i.e. murder, etc., there is a likelihood that that person will be shot or possibly killed.
Well, from the courts this evening, jurors in the coroner's inquest into the death of Garth Harrison found Monday that his death was a justifiable homicide. Harrison was shot near Sequoia Street, Pinewood Gardens back in October 2019. This after two officers engaged Harrison and two other suspects during a car chase after they spotted him speeding against traffic flow in a red Honda. Now, during the incident, a gunfight allegedly took place and Harrison was shot in the stomach. His car then collided with a fence and burst into flames. The suspects were rescued from the burning vehicle and Harrison taken to hospital where he later died. Two other passengers escaped on foot. A burnt 9mm pistol and magazine were reportedly recovered from the scene. However, Harrison's family maintains he was unarmed at the time of the incident. Acting Coroner Cara Turnquest DeVoe presided over the matter. The Davis administration not shying away from its frustration with the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development and the European Commission, two bodies it says are saddling small states like the Bahamas with regulations and restrictions it believes are strangling our financial services industry. The Deputy Prime Minister ramping up the administration's tone against these agencies, and as Corval Pyfrom reports, Chester Cooper is sounding battle-ready.
Yesterday was a record, and it's important to understand that every day forward now is a new record.
Perhaps it is because he's still riding high off the success of those record number tourist arrivals. The Deputy Prime Minister brought his unabated energy here to the Higgs and Johnson seminar, where he took direct aim at international regulatory bodies like the OECD and the EU. He blames their practices and some of their guidelines as being unjust and unfair to jurisdictions like the Bahamas.
In the cold light of day, the policies that post-colonial powers are imposing upon us threaten to decimate our economies.
The Deputy Prime Minister argues that the OECD and by extension the G20 have long burdened the Bahamas with addressing the issue of tax transparency and base erosion profit shifting. Despite adhering, the country is repeatedly finding itself labeled as non-compliant and being blacklisted. The Davis administration advocates that the UN be the recognized global tax policy body.
We want to be compliant. We've built a very successful international financial services business over the years. We are not interested in playing around the edges on this industry. We are mainstream international financial center of high repute, and we've done it successfully for many, many years. We have pivoted. We have been successful, and we will continue to pivot in the best interest of our country.
In a rapidly changing financial world, the Bahamas, the Deputy Prime Minister says, can protect itself by being proactive. And that means working with other small island developing states and regional partners to take on those regulatory regimes.
I think this has gone on too long. For 4 years as the Shadow Minister for Financial Services, I spoke on these issues. My background has been in financial services, as most people know. And we've been playing catch-up too long. We've been on defense too long. And it's now time for the international bodies to approach these matters fairly and practically, but also in a measured way, so that there is not a consistent, continued changing of the goalposts.
Going forward, Mr. Cooper says the Bahamas must enhance regulatory compliance, embrace digital transformation, and forge stronger relationships with those of similar interest. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pyfrom.
Still to come, reimagining tourism. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Focall Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
It has the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of. Now it's here. Commonwealth Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly approval. It's a service that just comes naturally to us, just like how love of tradition comes naturally to you. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Just when Leo was about to buy this useless pair of Hands underwear, he remembered that it was Tuesday. Hungry for deals? You better come satisfy it at KFC before doing something crazy. Crazy Tuesdays! 5 juicy, mouth-watering pieces of world-famous KFC chicken, handmade with a secret blend of 11 herbs and spices for only $10. Crazy Tuesdays! A finger-licking good deal.
My business couldn't survive without my credit card machine from Fidelity.
It's fast, convenient, and my clients love it.
My sales increase, and I can track my earnings.
Get your credit card machine from Fidelity today.
Call 356-7764.
trouble, it might drag you down. If you get lost, you can always be found. Just know you're not alone. 'Cause I'm gonna make this place your home.
Well, riding high on record-breaking numbers, tourism have already pulled in. Officials are looking ahead to 2030, a reimagined vision for the top industry that's set to be rolled out in the coming weeks and months. Letting parliamentarians in on what's to come, Tourism Investments and Aviation Minister, the Honourable Chester Cooper, spoke to 7 initiatives, among them the launch of an Emerging Leaders program to ensure the brightest and best trained lead the industry.
Secondly, we will launch a massive industry training initiative, putting Bahama Host and other programs on steroids on an aggressive national training initiative. Thirdly, we will deploy funds from the Tourism Development Levy, which we will use to consistently enhance our product, ramping up our focus on heritage, cultural, and sustainable tourism, including a renewed focus on what we knew as ecotourism, including fly fishing, and a renewed focus on bonefish lodges all across the islands of the Bahamas, including South Andros. 4, we will implement innovation and technology, including tech tourism, immersive experiences, AI, and deep learning technology to continue to grow and improve return on investments.
A program focusing on and investing in women entrepreneurs in tourism and related industries, also on the way.
We will launch an initiative through the TDC to increase room capacity by incentivizing vacation rentals on platforms like Airbnb. You might know that roughly 20% of room inventory nationwide is now provided by vacation rentals. And as we seek to continue this level of growth, we will formally call and incentivize Bahamians to participate in our Host a Guest initiative. This initiative we will roll out in January 2024. Building on our People-to-People program, we will now be incentivizing Bahamians to become micro-resort owners, benefit directly from this massive tourism boom.
Energy and Transport Minister, the Honourable JoBeth Colby Davis, says discussions are underway with Bahamas Power and Light's executive management to address the deficiencies and $21 million shortfall at the power provider. She says the move is necessary in order to bring BPL's financials back into alignment.
There are some plans as it relates to maintenance work that is ongoing that will prepare us for the summer, but then we are having discussions with the finance team on how we could readjust, realign some of our expenses and to bring some better controls in place. So you would have heard me mention a look at our supply chain. So that's going to be important because it controls procurement, our purchase orders, and how we do business going forward to make sure that everything the cost is no wastage, but it's more management. And then the burning of the ADO fuel is really the bigger concern, and so how we could change the fuel mix that we burn so the cost is lower.
The minister adding that the move towards renewables into BPL's energy mix is expected to promote reliability and sustainability while reducing electricity cost for consumers.
The glide scale path that we were on is now coming to an end. So at the onset of that coming to an end, you'll see some decline in the cost. And then as we do further movement and changes in the development of what we're working on at BPL, you'll get a better rates coming out.
Well, Public Services Union election, a challenging one, the outcome of which is still disputed. And this in the face of incumbent President Kingsley Ferguson being declared the winner. Now, when asked about an appeal launched by the Power team led by Alexander Burrows and the We Care team led by past President John Pinder, Labour Minister the Honourable Pierre Glover-Rowe responded with this.
The only thing I know about the BPSU elections is that I would have received a letter from the BPSU attorney seeking to appeal, and I will review that letter, acknowledge receipt of that letter, and the process will take its course.
Meantime, hundreds of students today got the opportunity to network with employers, colleges, and glean information on scholarships, and this all in an effort to expand their opportunities. Vaughn Albury has the story.
Children from 11 public and private schools assembled at the Andre Rogers Stadium for the Ministry of Labor's Labor on the Campus Careers Fair. It is an initiative to steer young people hoping to find jobs and higher education through a collaboration with the Ministry of Education. It's also an expansion of the Labor on the Blocks.
We don't only have employers present here, but we have colleges present. We have institutions that provide scholarships to young people so that we are sending them on the trajectory, not only in terms of providing them with employment, but those who want to pursue tertiary education before employment. This is the place today that we've brought it all together, collaborating with the public and private sector to ensure that our young people are in a mode of preparation as they look to move out of the high school, move into tertiary level education, and move into the workforce.
The Minister of Education fully endorsed the Careers Fair, telling students that the country continues to develop through the advancement of its people.
That's why education is so important. What you have in your head is how you're able to understand your reality, to critically think, to innovate, to create, to argue and debate, and to advance the agendas. This is how we see our young people. This is what we want to happen in high school and primary school. We want you to become of your own as young humans, not clones, not identicals, but on your own.
Later, students interacted with company representatives, tertiary level institutions, and learned of scholarship opportunities.
This event was a great experience, and I got to get exposure to different companies and different organizations, and I also got to get new opportunities for the things I want to do.
I've gotten a lot of insight, different job opportunities, different schools, a lot of new ways that I could develop my current skills and get more skills as I go on.
It is a very non-traditional school. You know, we have a lot of people interested in being nurses and biologists, and I feel like it's good to come in this industry because in the Bahamas, you know, we're based on tourism, and we're working with cruise ships and cargo ships. We bring in a lot of our imports and exports and bringing in a lot of tourism. So I think it's really good that we will, you know, have people leaning into the maritime industry.
This Labor on the Campus Careers Fair perhaps met its goal of bringing jobs, tertiary level education, and scholarship opportunities all under one roof. Now it's up to the students. As they say in Latin, carpe diem, or seize the day. For the Bahamas Tonight, I am Vaughn Albury.
Diplomatic Week, brought to you by Bahamas Financial Services Board.
Gun and human trafficking, a big issue on Ambassador to the United States, His Excellency Wendell Jones's radar. Jones, who was in the Capitol attending Diplomatic Week, says he actually headed an ambassador's caucus over in Washington, D.C., focused on tracking gun running throughout the Caribbean.
When I was chairman for 6 months, I led a delegation to Capitol Hill where we met with congressmen and senators dealing with that particular issue. With respect to the diaspora, in the United States, we've had some wonderful times, particularly celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Bahamas. We have attended events in New York, in South Carolina, in Atlanta, in Miami, and indeed in Washington, where there have been grand celebrations. And I think the Bahamian diaspora is coming together more than ever before. We are developing a database of Americans who are living in the United States. And if you've been watching, we have also done a number of webinars with professional Bahamians all over who are focusing on various areas.
Marcellus Hall joins us in studio with a check on what's coming up in sports. Marcellus?
Coming up in sports for this evening, the Hall of Fame gets a little bit bigger. We'll tell you all the details on who's going in just ahead in sports.
The fastest fiber covering the Bahamas. Do more, play more, stream more with BTC.
Our Northern Services Senior Executive Manager, Dominic Petty, is back at it again. Dominic paid a visit recently to the Rotary Club of Lucaya in Grand Bahama.
Today at our luncheon meeting, we had the awesome pleasure of having Mr. Dominic Petty, who is the General Manager for the Northern Bahamas for BTC, address us on the fiber system that is coming to the island of Grand Bahama. He gave us information about the fiber coming to the homes, to businesses. So we want the customers on Grand Bahama to know, and those who might be interested in having fiber to the home or even to your businesses, get in touch with BTC. Fiber is here.
The current services I have with BTC is internet and phone. How I came to know about BTC services, they actually had a fund day in my area, and they provided me with the various options available with the fiber services, and I was wowed by BTC's customer service. BTC's fiber services, would I recommend it? Of course I would.
My services here are inclusive of the telephone and internet. The service was installed in a very timely manner. The customer service was impeccable. When they came to the front door, everyone was nice and courteous. The service is super fast, and I would definitely recommend it to my neighbors, my family members, anyone inquiring. I would definitely recommend the services.
Grand Bahama is feeling fiber, and our friends up there are rejoicing. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, BTC unstoppable. Be well, and be back here next. BTC Connection.
The ball is back, and the ball is the Red Ribbon Ball, the 27th annual Red Ribbon Ball in aid of the Bahamas AIDS Foundation. And the theme this year is 1001 Arabian Nights.
Zaymer is a proud supporter of the AIDS Foundation and the Red Ribbon Ball. Over the years, we found that what we do best creates an atmosphere for people to open up their pocket.
Well, at John Bull, we believe in the work of the AIDS Foundation. You know, I've been told whenever you see that little blue bag, it brings excitement. Well, we're going to have lots of blue bags at this year's Red Ribbon Ball, and we have no doubt that it will be fabulous.
So at Alive Business, we're extremely excited to be a part of the Red Ribbon Ball once again this year, and that we're able to contribute $10,000 towards the success of this program.
As Commonwealth Brewery, we're more than proud to partner with the Bahamas AIDS Foundation. We're going to provide our best wines to entertain and bring the right atmosphere to the group.
So we at Wildflowers are thrilled that the ball is back, and we're very excited to be able to contribute to this event by decorating the Arabian Nights more beautiful than ever before.
Good to grow, keeping you in the know, keeping you in the know. God, it's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
The Agricultural Development Organization, along with Royal Caribbean International and the Ministry of Agriculture, yesterday dished out 200 backyard farming kits to residents in the Fox Hill community. This initiative, according to ADO Executive Chairman Philip Smith, is a part of a greater effort to encourage food security and to ensure that Bahamians develop a profitable trade.
So that's what I see the opportunity with agriculture is. You may see it as hard work, but we can become millionaires. And you know why? Because we import over $1 billion worth of food every year. So you do not have any problem with the market. It's just a matter of us organizing ourselves to make it work, you know, and being organized. And that is something we are working on right now.
The recipients of these kits will be visited by ADO Extension officers who will track the progress of these farms and offer additional assistance if needed. Over a 7-month process, Smith says the best farm will receive an award.
The best farmer will win a cruise for 2 on one of Royal Caribbean ships. Okay? A cruise for 2.
Royal Caribbean Beach Club President Philip Simon says the company remains true to its commitment in helping to feed the hungry.
Farming is natural to Bahamians. It's what we do.
It's what our ancestors did through the ages, along with fishing. And it's only in very recent decades that we moved away from doing it, donning the suits and the ties instead of the overalls and the straw hats that kept the sun over our heads. Through these farming initiatives, the ADO is seeking to change how the Bahamas feeds itself, in turn reducing that $1 billion import food bill that we have, and of course building a healthier population.
We caught up with a few of the recipients who expressed their excitement.
It saves me money. I can grow my own stuff, which basically I does now in my kitchen, on my kitchen window. Right now in my backyard I have basil, onions, sweet pepper, hot pepper, bird's eye pepper, the pepper collection. Now the close too, that means I got to get more things to plant. I just wish I would, win the cruise.
I feel good about it because I grew up farming. I grew up in Abaco, where my dad was a farmer. And so I know the importance of feeding yourself. You get better food. You're more healthy when you can eat from your garden. And that's how I grew up. I think we just need to expand what we're doing now in the backyard. I told them pick up some of the grass and let's plant a little bit more. And I'm sure we can win this. We can do this.
Agriculture Minister Jomo Campbell was also on hand for the ceremony and shares his hopes for this effort in the future.
It is truly my hope that the generosity displayed today continues and possibly expands further, and that other organizations will recognize the significance of this work and join us as we advance the cause of growing our own food. The more people we can get on board in our endeavors to ensure food security will make the work that much easier, which is why events like this today are so important.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Leah Cooper.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Today closing out Youth Month, but the celebrations continue with the Youth Leaders Hall of Excellence Awards on November 7th. 5 youth leaders to be inducted, 2 of them Reverend Diana Francis and band leader Superintendent Theodore Campbell.
Music has played a pivotal role throughout not just the Bahamas, but throughout the world. If we keep our young persons involved in music, it's going to assist with discipline, it's going to assist with academics.
It's critical that we invest in them. I've been doing youth ministry from the age of 21, and I'm far from that now. So for about 30 years, I've been doing youth ministry, and it's awesome to see that the young people that we would have mentored and molded and spoken into are now leading our churches in the Bahamas, are now in the Ministry of Youth as officers in the country. And so investment in the next generation is investment in our country's future. They're young today, but tomorrow they will lead us.
We also spoke with Ryan Munnings and Naya Minnis of South Eleuthera about their experience and suggestions for improvements for youth in Parliament.
I would love to allow more youth to be involved in such activities as we are here. That's what we are here for. Because I feel as though that on the Family Islands we are very distant from a lot of opportunities that are here to provide it for the children of the city in Nassau. So I would love to open up the table for more children to be involved in activities that they have in Nassau.
Well, when I participated last year, many opportunities opened up. Different political organizations reached out, and I started doing more in the community, branding myself, because I do plan to take public office sometime in the near future. So this is just another step forward.
I'll understand that the significant contribution of micro, small and medium-sized enterprises to the development of the Bahamian community. The Small Business Development Center is proclaiming November MSMSE month. That announcement made today in a press conference at the Phil Keeping Building on Old Trail Road. According to Samantha Roll, Executive Director of SBDC Bahamas, the goal is to empower Bahamian dreams, which coins the theme for the month of scheduled activities.
The month of November is not just a single event. It's really a series of multiple events across some of our family islands, but then also in New Providence. And I believe that there would be a huge number of participation from the small business MSME community to participate in these events. We have just highlighted some of our milestone events. We intend to do a number of other initiatives to support our client base as well as other MSMEs here in the Bahamas.
The SBDC has partnered with Alive for the month, and according to the company head of SME and Family Island Innovation, Chantel Sands, it falls within Alive's Small Business Makeover campaign, in which they are encouraging SMEs to join to expand their reach.
Alive Business is delighted to join the Small Business Development Center in celebrating MSMEs during the month of November, as we highlight the MSMEs' pivotal role and explore opportunities for their further advancement. We recognize the significance of the smaller businesses in the country and their contribution they make to the economy. So we encourage existing businesses as well as new businesses entering the marketplace to sign up with us and take advantage of entering to win one of our electrifying prizes, including our grand prize of a brand new electric SUV vehicle donated by Easy Car Sales.
Well, time now for the poll of the week, and this week we're asking, should the government adjust its posture and assist shantytown residents or demolish their homes? You can chime in on our social media handles.
In case you missed the news or want to stay ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on X, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant back again with another episode on the do's and don'ts at the service station. Let's go. What you ain't gonna do is just pull up to any dispenser and put the nozzle inside your car without reading the signs. Because if you put the wrong fuel inside your car and the car mess up, you could be mad at us, all right? And then you have to walk or catch bus for about 3 to 18 months. What you're supposed to do is read the signs. We place signs all over the dispenser to tell you which fuel is which. Because you put the wrong one in the car, say bop, and you could be mad at us. You could be, oh, what happened to my car? No, it's you who ain't read. It say diesel, diesel, one word, diesel. You got up, and you mad at us. Read, that's all you have to do.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Introducing Rheem Hot Wave, the multi-purpose hose sprayer that never runs out of hot water. Hot Wave heats water instantly using tankless water heating technology to provide continuous hot water outdoors whenever and wherever. Hot Wave is simple to use. Just plug and play with any garden hose and outdoor power outlet. See for yourself how Rheem Hot Wave is safe, easy to use, and provides hot water outdoors.
You've got termites and need to get rid of them fast? Trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
More than strong performance to date in the tourism sector has Tourism Minister, the Honourable Chester Cooper, almost besides himself with elation. He spoke with ZNS News today about how we are seeing strong performances, not just here in New Providence, but across the Family Islands. And he attributes a lot of the success to the series of global trade missions the ministry has embarked on this year.
This is tremendous what we are seeing. We have gone all around the world and told the world about the 16 destinations. And as a result, we see Bimini growing at a clip exceeding 130%. We see Exuma and Cat Island holding its own around 11%. And we see all of the other islands between 20 and 50% growth. This is phenomenal.
Well, a steady increase of sexual assault cases prompting calls for action. The good news is social services officials are working on providing solutions. A gender-based violence prevention Family Island Coordination Council established in Exuma on Friday. The council comprised of 10 people with the focus of eliminating gender-based violence here in the Bahamas. Desmond Saunders picks up the story from here.
The alarming rate of sexual assault cases being perpetrated against young women in the country still remains a grave concern for officials from the Department of Social Services. And while progress is being made at tackling this evil, retired Justice Ruby Nottage, who headed the task force for gender-based violence, hopes this momentum continues and gender-based violence is stumped out completely.
Just the fact that we now have it on the table as a matter of discussion, I think we're making tremendous movement. People want to talk about it. Now, we'll get to the point where they're a little hesitant because they realize that sometimes this is very painful. And that's when you have to have trained persons who can continue the conversation. Other than that, the community will drop.
10 Exuma residents selected to provide help to sexual abuse victims on Friday, part of a continuing effort by officials of the Department of Social Services to eradicate the high level of sexual abuse in the country. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Social Services and Information, Joel Lewis.
The response is overwhelming from the citizens of the various islands, and we intend to take this to every main family island in the Bahamas. Persons in the various family islands should take responsibility for their own family islands, and they are the people in the community and on the ground who would know what is happening, and those persons who are affected by gender-based violence.
Exuma Island Administrator Earl Campbell welcomes the department's new program on his island.
These councils will serve a very vital role in the controlling or at least the decreased amount of gender-based violence cases we may have in our family islands.
And while no substantive numbers have been generated to show the impact of gender-based violence on the family islands, officials are optimistic of the new programs being introduced at curtailing the scourge of gender-based violence in the country. Desmond Saunders of Bahamas Tonight.
Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makisha. We have just a few clouds this evening. Temperature at 80 degrees, relative humidity 83%, west-northwest winds at 6 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,009.2 millibars. That is 29.81 inches. And your temperatures around the Family Islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 79 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Greenville, Key and Abaco, Marsh, Abaco at 80 degrees. And we have 82 in Harbor Island, Rock Town, Eleuthera, Black Point, Exuma, and Kemp Space Out Andros at 81 degrees. Fresh Creek, Central Andros, 82. 83s in Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rumkey. Georgetown, Exuma, 82. 83 in Ragged Island, Clownstown, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Maguana, 81. Ackles, 81. Matthewtown, Inagua, 82. And the Turks and Caicos Islands at 84 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. In the Northwestern Islands tonight, northwest to west winds, speeds around 10 to 15 knots. The wave height 2 to 4 feet. The high tide, that will take place at 10:33 tonight. Now for the central and southeastern islands tonight, light and variable winds once again with flat seas 1 to 3 feet. But as we take you into Wednesday, you will see a significant increase in those winds, northwest to north at 15 to 20 knots. Wave heights building 4 to 7 feet. So caution flags will be in place tomorrow for the northwest Bahamas. High tide, 11 in the morning. Your low tide will take place at 5:33 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands on Wednesday, northwest to north winds 10 to 15 knots and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. Now on Thursday, more increase in those winds, 20 to 25 knots. This is in the northwestern Bahamas. Winds switching into a northeasterly direction. Very rough seas at 7 to 9 feet over the ocean. So we will have advisories in place for boaters in the northwest Bahamas. And if you don't have to, we'll actually just simply stay in port because these winds, they will be gusting in excess of 35 knots at times. High tide on Thursday, 11:49 in the morning. The low tide, 6:25 in the afternoon. For the central and southeast, winds northeast at 20 knots. Wave heights 4 to 7 feet. So caution flags also go in place for the central and southeastern islands on Thursday. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. Your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Want to have your voice heard? Send your letters to the editor to digitalmedia@znsbahamas.com. Share your thoughts on current events or positive stories within your community. That's digitalmedia@znsbahamas.com. We want to hear from you.
With the help of our authorized financial institutions, or AFIs, using sand dollars is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Step 1. Identify your preferred AFI by browsing their websites or contacting them directly. Step 2. Download the free mobile application from Google Play or the Apple Store and then register for a sand dollar account. Step 3. Load money onto your mobile app and begin sending and receiving sand dollars or purchasing and selling goods and services.
We are pleased to be
your central bank approved
digital wallet providers.
It does not matter which of us you choose.
You can pay for goods and services
wherever sand dollar is accepted.
We are all in this together.
Visit sanddollar.bs for more information.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant here to educate you on the do's and don'ts at the service station. Here's what you don't do. Do not pull up from the pump without first checking that the nozzle has been removed from your car. Because if you pop this, that's about $600,000 to $30,000 to replace. These things ain't cheap. What you want to do is make sure that the nozzle has been removed, or just wait for the universal sign, which is the double tap.
The most important thing in life is family. And whenever you need reliable advice, you look to the people you know you can trust. At J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, we earn our clients' trust every day. Whether it's home, motor, travel, or commercial insurance, we've got you covered. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
ZNS Total Sports brought to you by Sands Beer, who reminds you to recycle your beer bottles for cash in Nassau, Grand Bahama, and now Abaco and Eleuthera. Welcome to your ZNS Total Sports Check, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. Well, the new class of the Sports Hall of Fame has been announced. Tonight, Charles Fisher taking a look at two of the newest recipients of that prestigious honor.
Former president of the Bahamas Football Association, Anton Sealy, elated to be honored and with such a class.
It's obviously a tremendous honor as a sports athlete and as an administrator. You know, it's the highest honor that one can attain in their profession or their discipline. So it's a tremendous honor, and I'm very humbled and by it. And you know, it's still sinking in.
Over 2 decades leading one of the most powerful associations in the Bahamas, and just this year deciding that time has run out, not re-seeking another term in office.
28 years is a long time, and I was at the helm of BFA for 28 years. We've mentored a few people to take on, and I'm very excited. To first female, she was my second in command for 8 years, so she's well equipped and ready for the task. And as I said, 28 years, the time has come.
Once a sportsman, always a sportsman. He is still active in the sport.
I'm still involved on the international scene. I'm still a part of committees at FIFA and at CONCACAF, and still, in fact, I'm on the instructor panel for the executive mentorship program that CONCACAF started in 2020. So basically, I'm travel around the region, lecturing the federations, basically how to, in good governance.
Words could not express how cyclist Sam Ironman Brown felt when he got the news that he was now going to be a Hall of Famer.
It's so important to make the Hall of Fame or to be a Hall of Famer. I love it. I enjoy it. I feel, oh man, I can't say too much, man. It's over time. It's been a little while, but I made it.
And the sport has cycled him all around the world. Glad to see other places.
I've been some places. I've been Guadeloupe, Trinidad, Barbados, Cuba, Puerto Rico, Canada, Mexico, Colombia. You just name it. I've been these places. And I enjoy it to the fullness. And I must give thanks to people like you all who know my background of sports.
Very proud moment. Much more from the other honorees coming up in Wednesday Sports. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
All right, thanks, Fisher. Well, the new Providence Old Timers Softball Association playoffs now underway. Play beginning on Sunday in the first round. In the opening game, 3 third-place Quality Home Center Divers in the blue taking on the 6th-place Rebels in their traditional red and black. Scoreless game until the second. That's when the Divers would get their offense going just a little bit. Final score ends up being 12-2. Game stopped in the 5th via the 10-run mercy rule as the Divers now take a 1-0 lead in that best of 3. That's set to continue on Saturday. In the other Sunday playoff game, the the boys squad in the orange taking on 8th place KC Construction. This one a high-scoring affair with KC putting up a bit of a fight here. Boys, though, just too potent on offense. They pull away for the 29-19 win in 6 innings. And the Bahamas Youth Flag Football League has been rolling right along with their regular season. This past weekend saw a number of highly competitive matchups take place. 6 to 9 age group, that saw Team Inn over Team Sheldon 6-2. Team Dawkins, they beat Team Sheldon 6-1, and Team Inn over Team Dawkins 25-7. In the 10 to 13 age group, Team Dawkins taking down Team Allen 27-0. Team Monroe, they blasted Team Allen 33-2. Team Kevin beat Team Monroe 26-6, and Team Dawkins and Team Moss finishing tied at 0. In the older age group, 14 to 17s this time around, Team Allen outlasting Team Monroe 20-12. Team D'Angelo blanked Team Shavar 26-0, and Team Shavar over Team Monroe 14-8. Bahamian NBA player DeAndre Ayton back on the floor last night with the Portland Trailblazers. Portland looking for their first win of the young season, and they would indeed get it done, beating the Toronto Raptors in Toronto 99-91. Ayton 10 points and a career-high 23 rebounds. 15 of those came in the second half to help his squad to the victory. He also had 2 blocks in the night. Trailblazers with the night off this evening. Their next game comes your way on Wednesday night when they go up against the Detroit Pistons. And that's it. You look at sports here on this Tuesday. Coming up next, a look at the weather. Stay with us. ZNS Total Sports brought to you by Sands Beer, who reminds you to recycle your beer bottles for cash in Nassau, Grand Bahama, and now Abaco and Eleuthera.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Hello, everyone. This is Tony Williams back with a special promotion from BahamasAir.com and GoGo Florida. The $100 deposit is back, but it's only on your debit card. So whether you're renting that sedan, SUV, or spacious minivan for group or family trips, keep your cash in your pocket. Only Dollar Thrifty is making it convenient for you. Your $100 deposit held on your debit card. Available at Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, and Orlando. Book early and save your 8-passenger minivan for your holiday shopping spree.
First we plan, then we innovate, then we build. At Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we are committed to quality, to safety, and to service. We know that the road you take is just as important as your final destination. At Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, it is our job to make sure the road and the ride are as smooth as possible. From striping roads to building them, we are the right choice, the trusted choice, the only choice to help you build your tomorrow.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, we have 30 days remaining in the official tropical cyclone season, and we still have one area that we're looking at. This one is in the eastern Caribbean Sea. Right now, it has about a 20% chance of developing, but as it continues to move towards the west, it will move into some more favorable atmospheric condition, and that will bump the probability up to about 60% over the next several days. So we'll watch that system in the Caribbean Sea over the next several days. And then on our satellite picture, you can see the disorganized showers associated with that area of low pressure in the eastern Caribbean Sea. And that was better organized yesterday, but that has fallen apart somewhat today. But as we said, it will move into some more favorable conditions, so we expect greater organization of those showers and thunderstorms over the next couple of days. Across the Bahamas, that area of high pressure ridge, which has been producing some very strong winds, has relaxed and will continue to relax over the next couple of days, but very briefly as those strong winds will return by the middle of the week. Tonight, partly cloudy, warm and humid with a couple of showers developing late tonight, and they will be of a brief nature. 78 degrees for your low temperature. And tomorrow, we're looking at partly sunny with a couple of showers still, mainly breezy in the afternoon, as with a high temperature getting up to 84 degrees. And your extended weather forecast, we're going to have those off and on spitty showers right through Thursday. They become a little bit more heavy on Friday, and things dry out on Saturday with the cloud cover remaining in place. It would not be until Sunday before we see the skies open up with an abundance of sunshine, taking us into Monday of next week. Now, when you look at those temperatures, it's going to be very comfortable over the next several days. Daytime temperatures in the low 80s. We're going to see 81 on Thursday and Friday, and then it just gradually start to climb up as we head into Saturday, but remaining in the low 80s. And those nighttime temperatures comfortable as well in the mid-70s, and with those breezes picking up, that will keep you nice and comfortable as well. Makishla.
Well, thanks, Basil. And comfortable temperature is exactly what we wish tonight as ghosts and goblins, princesses and superheroes, celebrities, or even supernatural beings hit the streets, all in hopes the night will end with a huge haul of treats. No tricks. But where did trick-or-treating all begin and why? Well, our Shalia Jones has the spooky tale.
Thank you, Makashla. The discourse surrounding Halloween deepens more each year, and I bet most of us are not quite sure where it all came from. So if you were wondering, here's Halloween's origin story. The Halloween holiday has its roots in the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, a festival that celebrated the end of summer, the harvest, and the start of a new year. Historically, the young, and young at heart, would light bonfires and wear costumes to ward off ghosts. However, others argue Halloween, formerly known as Hallows' Eve, celebrated just a day before All Saints' Day was created to honor individuals who died and is believed to have made it to heaven. As the years went on, traditions like trick-or-treating and pumpkin carving were made a part of the festivities. Thus, it became the spectacular worldwide holiday we know today. However you spend your Halloween this evening, though, whether it be on the road getting candies or remembering a loved one that died, police continue to encourage you to do it safely. Reporting live in studio, I'm Charlia Jones. Trick or treat!
Well, thanks, Charlia, and that does it for the Bahamas Tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. As we close, we share some Halloween scenes from Atlantis' Poseidon's Table. In the meantime, from all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.